what defines the direction of a parabola is A.
Right.
And there are only two possibilities, right? Either it's bigger than 0 or it's negative, or it's less than 0. If it's bigger than 0, it tells you that your parabola you're about to draw will be opening up. Now, it's probably not going to be passing through the origin or whatever, I don't know where it's going to have its vertex or whether it's going, where it's going to have its x-intercept, because for that we need to actually find them. I just want to show you the fact that if you have a parabola that is opening up, then you're definitely going to have in your range, in his answers produced, he will be bound. At certain position, there will be no lower answers to be produced. He will have an absolute minimum of results he can give you. So he will have a certain limitation on his range. His range will be basically bigger or equal to some particular position. And that position will be the vertex, of course. And that will be, and you're not going to use the whole vertex, all the coordinates, right? You're not going to use both of the coordinates for your range. You will only use the coordinate of the answer, which is y coordinate. So you will say, oh, my range, in this case, the range of this guy will be, I don't know, greater than something, greater or equal to something. Actually, there's a way of finding it. Like, if you want to say that, oh, my range is going to be bigger or equal, at least equal to the very bottom part of my parabola, which happens to be the vertex by definition. So I just say vertex. But I can't say vertex. I have to say vertex's y coordinate, because it's not the whole point that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the altitude, the result, the smallest result I will get. Here it's going to be the smallest one. If A was, on the other hand, negative, now it will change my range. Now I will have to expect a range that will have an absolute maximum instead. Because now my parabola is starting with a negative number, which means it's going to be opening down, which means there will be a top instead. Naturally, it has to be the top. If you're opening down, you have a top. So then the results you're going to expect will have a certain different kind of limitation. Now there will be a level above which your graph will never exist. So when you say that in English, when you actually write down that range, actually it's not English, it's more like set notation. You say, oh, well, it might be now what? The green thing, so this was red function, G, and let's say this next one would be a potential range description of a green version, also G of X, I mean. So, well, in this case, it will be in the green case, actually, your Y values will always be less or at most equal to a certain value, which will, again, be, of course, by definition, a vertex's Y coordinate. But we know that vertex's Y coordinate has a label, and it's labeled as K. You remember that, right?
Right.
In the vertex form, it was HK. That was the vertex by definition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, and there's actually a way of finding the vertex, a very fast way of finding a vertex, which is something you can understand if you look at the quadratic formula a little bit more focused. Like if you think about what it means, you can justify to yourself that the vertex is a position that is equal to, that is produced or achieved or understood, calculated, figured out somehow by doing minus b over 2a. And when you do just minus b over 2a portion of your quadratic function, you understand that you are at the middle. That becomes the h value, the very x-coordinate of your vertex. This is how the vertex location can be found very easily without completing the square. Does that make sense how you get that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. Now, that allows you then to find the k, because you can just plug in your k into your function. That will give you the k, right? You already have your function. That's your function. You got the x-coordinate of the vertex, plug that h value into your function, allow it to be an entity that will be processed. He will be processed, and he will become something else at the end of the game. Something else will be the answer. That will be the y, and that will be the top or the bottom. So now that's the range.